Please leave your message for...
Alex don't even pick up the phone on me anymore.
Budget filmmaking. It's a beautiful thing until it's not, and you're stuck, and you don't know how to buy what you want or what to buy, or film just feels like it's getting way too expensive. I feel you. I'm on the same path. That's why I decided to do a budget-friendly little short film rig with my Sony a6300. You see, it's an older camera, it's cheap, it's fun, and it's light. So I figured, why spend a lot of money on a rig for the a6300? Save that money for, an FX3 or a A7C2, and just build something nice and fun with this. I've been going back and forth to B&H over and over again for the last 3 or 4 days. And now, look, we are back on 34th Street again. Today, what I want to do is something a little on brand for me. I have the Artisan 25mm lens, which I've been explaining over and over again. 2 days ago, I got the 20mm 2.8, which is a beautiful lens. That's what we're on right now. But I figured I don't need the 25mm right now, and also it's too close to the 20. It makes no sense. So I'm getting a 50mm later. But today, there's a couple things that I want to get with my camera. So we're going to go to B&H. I'm going to return this lens, and we're going to pick up whatever we need to pick up. So since price point is our main thing, I want to start by saying that using a camera doesn't mean that you have to use a Sony FX3 or one of those red cameras and stuff like that. Filmmaking is mostly about the story that you're putting and the visual. If you can get your story and your visual together, then even if it's on a VHS camera, you'll be fine. And plus, we're in 2024, VHS camera, it's a nice aesthetic. Second thing is your audio. So right now I'm having issues with my Sennheiser, so I'm recording off of my phone just to be able to put the audio back together later. These are things that you don't need to buy an H4 Zoom or a crazy boom mic just to get the audio where it needs to be. You can use your phone, find a way to incorporate it into the storytelling or into the visual. The second thing is your lenses. Now, photographers would say that getting into lenses is probably the most expensive part of this whole journey. But really, I have a 7 Artisan 24mm 1.8 lens that I bought for $73 plus tax. You can find it. Now, having one of these doesn't necessarily make you the man. It doesn't make you a filmmaker. There's people that do stuff on iPhone and it looks just as good, just as cinematic. What matters is your ability or inability to capture an audience through storytelling or through visuals in your own style. Secured the goods, now to find a place to sit. So now you hear me going back and forth saying you don't need an expensive camera. You can just use an iPhone. But then I'm telling you that storytelling and visuals is an important part of film. So it's kind of contradicting, and it is until it's not. And you make that decision whether or not it is contradicting or whether your visuals are good storytelling or not. You see, you can go out in today's world, have a super cheap little JVC or Sony camcorder that only shoots like 480 and have a compelling story and still make something great out of it and still have fun and still probably get awards. You might not be able to play it on Netflix, or you might not be able to play it on any big screen per se, but it's your film. You created it. You decide whether it goes to film festivals or just goes to YouTube. That's your decision. It also adds on to the creativity of things. Like, why did you use a JVC camera? Why did you make it look like a skateboard video? You know, it's a creative choice. A lot of people are out here doing it in post anyway, so why don't you just go to the main source? Look at music. Music is still sampled through vinyls, has that crackling sound. There's producers that love that stuff. It goes around and it comes back around, and you don't need to break your mind over thinking whether or not is the right thing, honestly. A little cool transition and some scenery changes is all you need sometimes. I'm done with B&H. I've been there almost every day for the last week. Tired of 34th Street, I'm tired of Manhattan, and I'm about to go into the train. So I'm gonna end this with saying, now that we spoke about what the main component of filmmaking is, we get to equipment buying, and this is the part where it's just, oh, it's too expensive, there's too many lenses, all that kind of stuff. But not really. The Artisan 24mm lens that I mentioned earlier in this video is $80. They have some that are $50. There's used lenses, there's new lenses, there's smaller lenses, and each of them have their own characteristics that allow you to express yourself however you want. I'm shooting with a Tamron 20mm lens, which was $250. Now, Sony a6300, super old camera, but it's still a beast. It does 4K, and I can get my videos on YouTube. The Sennheiser MK3 microphone is still like $130, but I had that from a long time ago. $50. There's $150 ones out there, but I don't need it. $20 tripod. It's not a Joby Gorilla Pod. It's a tripod that I can mount up my camera in places like this and get the shots that I want. That's your first step. What do you have that you can either use or convert to be able to shoot film? And so we're here. We're filmmakers on a budget. Are you a filmmaker? Or are you gonna let your limitations take you out the game?